Win na win sa puso ko. Hindi kita kailangan kumpara, kasi ikaw lang baby at wala nang ang iba.
Ayan, good morning guys. So yan, kagigising ko lang. 7 days quarantine. So sa bahay lang. Good morning sa inyo. Medyo ayun, mag-upload ako mamaya ng mga videos about dun sa mga ginagawa namin. And gising na yung baby ko. Ayun. Say good morning. Ayan, wala siya sa food. So, ayan. Babalik ako later. Just wait for me.
Few inches later.
Wake up na ako. Then, mag-aayos na kami na kwarto. Hi guys! So yan, nakapag-ayos na ako ng kwarto namin. So yan. So ngayon guys, gagawa ko ng video about coronavirus. Mga idea lang naman kung saan natin siya nakukuha. So, let's watch this.
An outbreak of coronavirus infections in the Wuhan province of China in December 2019 is threatening to emerge as the next pandemic. At current count, over 40,000 cases and 600 deaths have been reported in China and over 300 cases in 25 other countries. Unofficial modeling studies by a number of institutions claim infections of over 150,000. The alarming speed of transmission is in part because the virus spreads through the air and by touch. Using the power of 3D medical animation, this video covers what is a pandemic, how this coronavirus is spreading, how coronavirus attacks the body, and what are recommended precautions to take for protecting against epidemics. Pandemics indicate outbreaks of disease that spread to cover an entire region or the world. A pandemic can result in massive loss of life. In the last 100 years, there have been 4 global pandemics, the worst with the 1918 influenza pandemic, resulting in an estimated 50 to 100 million deaths. While no global pandemic has been born from the family of coronavirus, 2 regional epidemics have resulted from this family of viruses. They include severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, or MERS, in 2001 to 2003 and 2012 to 2015, respectively, and resulted in over 1,500 deaths. Much is yet to be known about the 2019 novel coronavirus. An early study of 99 infected showed a high mortality of 11%, similar to SARS, and ICU admission rates of 23%. An earlier study described a virus pathology with an 8-day incubation period, a week of infection, followed by a potential escalation to hospitalization and intensive care over another 8 to 10 days. Other indications put the mortality rate closer to 4%. The virus has, as of February 6th, over 40,000 confirmed cases in China alone, with almost 200 cases in over 25 other countries. However, Dr. Jonathan Reed from the UK believes that the numbers of actual cases is far greater and has estimated between 170 to 300,000 by February 9th. This is because symptoms can be mild and escape reporting and testing. What's more, in stark contrast to SARS, some patients may be infectious in their incubation period before the onset of any symptoms. Mechanism of action of coronavirus. The 2019 novel coronavirus is a newly discovered strain from the coronavirus family that causes respiratory disease. Humans have long been infected by coronavirus as it is one of those responsible for the common cold. It is a contagious viral infection spread through inhalation or ingestion of viral droplets. As a result, coughing and sneezing and touching infected surfaces are primary sources of infection. The structure of coronavirus has multiple parts. Inside the virus lies the genetic encoding that allows the virus to hijack human cells and turn them into virus factories. A protein encapsulates the genetic material known as the viral envelope. On the surface of the viron are S and HE proteins. The structure of the 2019 novel coronavirus is a mutation. For more information on this, see the link below. The large S glycoproteins are used by the virus to gain entry to human cells. They most likely attach to angiotensin-converting enzyme 2 receptors on the cell membrane, allowing the virus entry. The exact mechanism for this is not known. Most likely, as shown here, the human cell ingests the virus in a process known as endocytosis. Once inside the cytoplasm, the endosome opens to reveal the virus's genetic material, a single-stranded RNA. The virus hijacks the cell's machinery to replicate the RNA in N proteins and uses the endoplasmic reticulum to form its M protein outer layer and the all-important S protein. After replication, the virus is carried by the Golgi bodies out of the cell in a process known as exocytosis so that it can infect other cells. Meanwhile, the stress of viral production on the endoplasmic reticulum eventually leads to apoptosis, or cell death. It should be noted that the mechanism of action for 2019 novel coronavirus is unknown. However, scientists in China have sequenced the genome, while others have used the sequencing to visualize the structure. There is currently no cure or vaccine for the 2019 novel coronavirus, and treatment is only supportive. Therefore, preventing transmission is paramount. As an airborne virus, recommended precautions are similar to those for preventing the flu. This includes washing hands regularly with soap and water for 20 seconds, covering sneezes and coughs with the inside of the elbow, refraining from touching high-contact surfaces like railings and doorknobs. If you use tissues, throw them away immediately. Avoid close contact with people who are sick.
Hello, my name is Paul Casey. I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Rush. And I just wanted to take a minute to address a few common questions that have come up about this coronavirus or COVID-19 outbreak. So start just with a general overview of coronavirus. So coronavirus is really the cause of many common colds. What's a little different about this novel coronavirus is it's a common cold to which a lot of us have not been exposed across the world. And that's why you're hearing about a lot of people getting sick with symptoms of coronavirus. So when our immune system hasn't been exposed to this before, it can cause symptoms. It causes us to get, in this case, the most common symptoms are upper respiratory symptoms. So same as a cold, fever, cough, congestion you might experience as well. And about 1 in 5 patients also develop some diarrhea with the coronavirus. Now, the great news is that the coronavirus is actually quite mild for the vast majority of people that get it. About over 95% of people that get the coronavirus will just have a cold and nothing more than really a cold. There are certain groups that we worry about that are a little more at risk for developing more severe symptoms, and that's specifically those that are over 60 years old, those that have some other diseases, so those that are over 60 with diabetes, with high blood pressure, with heart disease. That tends to be the group that is more likely to get sick from the coronavirus. But again, for the vast majority of people that we see with coronavirus, going to feel like a cold. Even those that are seen here in the hospital would be discharged home for what we call home quarantine, or to stay in their room, stay in their house so that they're not spreading this elsewhere. So it brings up another good question as to how do we prevent the spread of the coronavirus? And really, the great news here is that just like any virus, we have to go back to the basics. So the message we've been trying to carry forward, as did President Obama, is keep calm and wash your hands, right? Because these viruses, the only way to contain these viruses is really a lot of hand hygiene. So anytime you're touching surfaces, it can be spread by contact, it can be spread by people coughing as well. So really important to do frequent hand washing to prevent passing this on. The one other piece that I wanted to touch on was our coronavirus here at Rush. So we have had, today is, I gotta get my dates together, I've been here an awful lot. So March 7th, on Saturday, March 7th, we've had a single one case of coronavirus to date. There's been a number of patients that have come in that we screen as they come into the hospital, and we've said, boy, this is a good enough story that we think we need to evaluate you to see is this the flu, which is far more likely the case. About 29 million people in America this year have had the flu, so far more likely to be flu. Or could this be the coronavirus? So we've had about 10 or so patients come through that we did that evaluation. In that evaluation, only one patient to date has actually had the coronavirus. That patient was seen in the emergency department. As I said, like most patients, he looked incredibly well just with cold symptoms. We tested him. He was actually sent home for that self-quarantine. Came back later that night saying he was starting to not feel as well. So out of an abundance of caution, we put him up in our medical isolation room upstairs on the 10th floor and watched him up there for about a day or so. Throughout the entire time, I can tell you he was completely stable. He was sitting up, texting with family, texting on social media, again, just with these cold symptoms. So we really played it just on the safe side as this was one of the first patients to come in. I think all indicators are that we're going to see more cases likely in the Chicago area. The best things, again, we can do is really the hand washing, that self-isolation, trying to, if you're having any symptoms, this isn't a time to come to work if you're having a fever at home. And the final thing I'd like to say is that we have set up a number of resources. Most importantly, we have our rush.edu coronavirus page, and that we are keeping up to date with both the latest resources as well as questions. Any questions that have come up, we're trying to keep that page updated. So hopefully that caught you up with some of the information around the coronavirus, and we'll try to keep the communication going.
So, ayun guys, sana marami kayo natutunan and nakapulot kayo ng mga ideas about COVID or coronavirus. Ito po na coronavirus to yung tit niya. Ayun po guys, so please subscribe me on my YouTube channel, Miss Miel, and comment below and please click. Guys, so keep on watching my trending videos and mag-upload pa ako ng more videos about coronavirus. So keep on watching. Bye!